Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mike's Indie Corner. On this episode, you saw the title, we're doing it, Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, so before I really get into the nitty-gritty of this game and what I really think about it, I feel like I have to address, I guess you can call the controversy of this game, because this game gets a lot of, love and hate reactions, and quite frankly, it's mostly the hate in particular that baffles me. If you like this game, you love it, good for you. Enjoy it. It's the hate I don't really get. I guess, a lot of people, I feel like most people don't hate it because of the game itself. They hate it on principle. They hate it because he's made 4 of these in the past year or so. And they feel like somehow because he's done that, that means he's lazy or there's no effort put into it or there's no real attempt at making a genuinely good game. Is that in any way warranted? No! It's fucking not! I'm sorry. If you're one of those people right now that gets I tweeted about this a month ago, and I get this incredibly angry response about this, and I don't feel like, especially compared to games that I Am Bread and Goat Simulator exist, that this is the game we should really get mad about. Because is there really anything about Five Nights at Freddy's to get that angry about, to get that passionately angry about, and tell everyone who likes it they can go fuck themselves? No. And quite frankly, you shouldn't be telling people who like something that you don't to go fuck themselves anyway. The exception to that might be if they That's My Boy. Or at least that's my one exception. But do they deserve that? Does this game deserve that hate? No. Do people who love this game deserve that hate? No. There are so much better things to be angry about than Five Nights at Freddy's. If this game was absolutely terrible, if this game was the worst thing ever to exist, and the worst thing to come out in the past year, I might be a little more leaning to your side, but after playing it, after spending time with it, it's hardly the worst game ever. In fact, there's a lot I really like about it. I'm not going to say it's great. I'm not going to say it's my top game ever of indie games. It's like the pinnacle of which all indie games must have pulled. But I can admire the work that went into it. I can admire what it's clearly trying to do, and I can respect the creator. I mean, even the sequels, which I have not played yet, although I will eventually get around to it, I respect the creator for being able to take this concept that is an original concept, and that is rare for a horror game, that I can't think of a game before now that was like this. If there is, let me know, but for now, I can't think of a game that had this kind of setup, these kind of characters, and this kind of mythology that I find interesting, and it does lead to good atmosphere and good jump scares. I mean, yeah, the whole game's relying on jump scares. That's an unavoidable fact. But does that make it a bad game? No. I'm not a big jump scare fan, but I do like that it does build the atmosphere. It does try to build a world in which this kind of thing can happen. There is an attempted world building here. There is a lot of stuff behind the scenes. There is attempts at making it more than just a simple jump scare game. Gameplay-wise, yeah, it is just a simple jump scare game, but at the same time, even that, I would argue, is hardly done lazily. It does through unique game mechanics for the time. At this point, it has been kind of run into the ground, but even in the sequels, I would argue they at least tried to do something different, even though from what I know, the sequels, as of right now, they kind of made that mistake that a lot of sequels make, as they think more complicated means scarier. No, it doesn't. But I respect the creator for trying to do what he did and having at least a successful first game out of it. Again, I can't speak for the sequels until I play them. I'm keeping an open mind until I finally get around to it. I don't know how long it's going to be. Probably when we see the Let's Plays of the sequels come out, that's when I'll have the game review up not too long after. But anyway, back to this game, though. Now, what makes this game good and what makes it bad? Let's break it down. Let's break it down because I want to make this as objective as I can. Let's take the hate out. Let's take the, oh my god, this is the best game ever, out of it. Let's take all that out. Stop touching your keyboard, preparing to send me angry comments. Wait till let's diagnose this piece by piece. Okay, so what's good about it? The setup is great. The setup is a unique video game setup with the idea of you're not trying to get away from the monsters, you're trying to protect yourself from them because you can't go anywhere. That is a great isolating setup. And even then, your only ways of defending yourself, you have to deliberately keep constrained, because if you use too much of it, you lose. That's a great setup, and it does force you to try to restrain yourself, which makes it scarier because you don't know what's coming around the corner. Now, again, I'm not a big fan of jump scares, but they're effective. They're effective jump scares. Like, if you watch our Let's Play of it, you watch, like, we screamed all the time while playing this thing. Does that mean, like, it's the best horror game ever? No. There are other games like PT or even like Silent Hill 4 that builds an atmosphere better without relying on jump scares. But that being said, for the price this game is fucking cheap. That's another thing I think I'm willing to give this game a little more slack about, rather than a game that does repeat its mechanics so much. Like, okay, let's compare, like, I bought Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, and 3 for $10. That's incredibly cheap. So when all the game mechanics start to repeat themselves rather quickly, I'm more willing to forgive it because they're cheap. And so, like, I can forgive repeated game mechanics a little bit more if you give me something else, which, like, more story elements, which is the story I've always found more interesting than the game, to be honest. So I'm willing to forgive that. Now let's compare that to, say, Crackdown 1 and 2, where you had Crackdown 1, which is a fun, surprise little hit, and then you had Crackdown 2, which was the same game. The exact same game. Now those games cost $60 a piece. That is something it's more... That is harder to look past than it is for Five Nights at Freddy's, because I am paying a significant amount more for a sequel that I would expect to have something a little more than what I got. Five Nights at Freddy's, you're maybe paying $5-10 a piece. That's hardly the worst thing ever. I mean, can we just get over that? But anywho, okay. So like I said, the atmosphere is good. I love the mythology. Now I will be the first to admit the mythology has gotten convoluted. It is kind of all over the place, and in fact the game theory has like half-hour videos dedicated to trying to piece it all together, shows that perhaps over time that this game has gotten way more convoluted than it needed to be. But that being said, the mythology that is here and the setup that it has is very interesting, and it does lend itself to some good hidden plot elements that you want to explore, you want to find out more. You want to find out more about what makes this world. You want to find more what makes, like, the Bonnie and Clyde, or not Bonnie, Clyde or Chica, whatever the hell the fucking things are called. You want to find out how they work. You want to find out, like, what makes them tick and why they're here and all that stuff. You want to find out that story, which is more than I can say for games like Dungeon Nightmare, where that is so fucking vague that it's fucking nonsensical. This one, at least there's some kind of foundation in place where you can build off it, and they've built it up a lot, but I digress. So that stuff is really good. The setup's really good. The designs are really good. The story is interesting and creative. Now, what's not good about it? I've talked about this a little bit before, is like the jump scares are in your face, they do get annoying, and after a while, it does start to become a bit more predictable. I mean, it's those still parts I get like, oh my god, that was scary. But at the same time, it does get old. It does run out of tricks. And it does become more, especially when you have to repeat the same level so many times. Which, by the way, thank you for not making me start all the way from the beginning, Dungeon Nightmare. But I digress. Where was I going with this? Oh, yes. But at the same time, it does get old, and it does get frustrating, and it is a hard game. This is not an easy game. Like, the only reason I even got as far as I did in the game was pure dumb luck. Pure dumb luck is the only reason I got through that game. And that's really the biggest con of the game, but it's also such a huge, big thing that it does bog the game down for me and truly an enjoying experience. Like, this is a game I can't say I was having a great time playing, but I was at least engaged in what I was doing. And there was a legitimate attempt at forming a strategy to try to win. It wasn't just random chance. You do have to actually apply some effort. You have to learn the patterns. You have to try to do what you can to win. And you have to work at it. I respect that, and for the most part, it works fine. You could argue that the difficulty curve is a little high, but whatever, it works. It works okay, and it's fine. So, really, I'm kind of in the middle, I guess. I don't love it. I like the mythology behind it, but I'm not crazy about the game itself. But nor do I hate it. I don't have that passionate hate for it that a lot of other people do. And I still feel strongly, if I feel strongly in anything, is I feel the hatred is completely unwarranted and should be focused on games that are much more deserving of your hate rather than this. It's like, this isn't the gaming equivalent to Twilight. It's not the game or 50 Shades of Grey where it's popular for no fucking reason. There's a reason why this stuff is popular. It has a good foundation for creativity and for a good mythology and an interesting world to explore. There is more meat here than other things that get inexplicably popular, like I said, like 50 Shades of Grey or the Transformers series or any of that stuff. There is more meat there. Now, again, does the overall story make sense? Debatable, at best. That being said, I still find myself wanting to learn more, and if a game is going to make me game series is going to make me do that, it's doing something right. So I think that's a fair point to make. Now, if you've watched this and you're just sitting there going, how dare you like this game? Yeah, I hate you. Then I'm sorry. But deal with it. Because I'm not gonna lie, like, if you get that angry because somebody likes something that you don't, that's on you. That's your problem. Because that's not gonna change anyone's mind. It's not. It's a completely pointless thing to get angry about. Why are you angry? Why do you care so much about whether people like this game or not? Like, that is what genuinely baffles. I know I'm getting a bit of a tangent here, but just bear with me. But it's like, this game, especially for a game that's okay, it's not worth getting this angry about. So, try to think of it objectively, take a step back, and realize that, okay, they like it, I don't, and that's okay. That shouldn't ruin my life. I should be able to go play games that I like to play, and I should be able to take this game out of my mind completely. And if you can't do that, then honestly, I don't know what to do for you, because no one's gonna bend over backwards and make you feel better. So that's just really just unnecessary stress you're causing yourself. So I hope you can find your way to work past it. And if you can't, then well, sucks to be you. So if I've given this a final score, I would give it a solid 6. Like, it's better than average. I like the ideas behind it. Some of the game mechanics are too reliant on jump scares to be really, like, I would call a fun or genuinely terrifying gaming experience. But I'm not disappointed that I played it, and I'm glad I honestly kind of glad to play it just so I could see what all the hubbub was about. So that is Five Nights at Freddy's, guys. Thank you all for watching. We got a lot to catch up going. We got a lot of videos coming out right now. I just got back from PAX just a couple days ago, and I got tons of footage I got to start through. I got to start putting videos together. I got interviews. I got game footage. I got just fun shit that I've done. I honestly can't go too in-depth in a lot of the games, but I do try to give a general overview of all the games I played, and if I forgot anything, I'll record fresh data. But so look out for that series. That's gonna work on that pretty soon. I'm also gonna work on a review of Beyond Eyes, which I did do Let's Play of it, that game, and I'm probably gonna try to finish that tonight, if possible. But if not, I'll get it done pretty soon. And there's about, I think, 3 free games that I've played. 3 short games that I've played recently that I want to try and get reviews for. So look out for that as well. In the meantime, if you like this video, you want to help us out, go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/MichaelTheComicNerd and give anything you can, even from $1 to $5 to whatever you want. Remember, $5 patrons get to request games for me to review on this show, as well as movies in theater to review for the review team, and possible episodes of Michael the Comic Nerd, and whatever else show we come out with. So help us out there, support us, and yeah, that's my spiel. So thank you guys for watching this episode of Mike's Indie Corner, and we'll catch you all whatever the next video is. All right, bye.